リンクスタート。
Hey there guys, it's Salis, and welcome back to Salis's Week of Anime. Welcome to Sword Art Online Re-Hollow Fragments. Normally I'm very anti-doing RPGs on this channel. RPGs tend to be quite slow burning, but with this, I think I get to show you a good chunk of the, the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. Really easily, because this kind of splits things up a bit differently to how a normal RPG does it. Anyway, welcome to Ark Sophia, which is the main town. I think so far is the only one I've found that is actually fully rendered. I've cleared the first 2 floors. This kind of, how to put it, separates itself from the main, overarching story of SAO in quite a big way. Basically, on floor 75, Kirito defeats Akihiko Kayaba, but the game doesn't end, it just keeps going, so you've got to clear all the way to floor 100. I'm currently up to floor 78. I'm aiming not to show you a boss fight in this, because the boss fights in this are so imaginative and creative, it's amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, some are borrowed from the show. In fact, the first enemy you fight is the floor 75 boss, the Skull Reaper. But this is how the game is played, basically. You play as Kirito, and even though this is the PS4 version, which is a massive upgrade from the original Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment on the Vita, you can have a female character model, you can change your name, but everyone still calls you Kirito. Some of the other changes that have been made, the controls have been a little more westernised. For example, in Japan, a circle is used to represent what we in the West would use a check mark for, or a tick. And X is obviously no. On the Vita version, you use circle to select everything. On the PS4, you can use the X button. Again, westernise the controls a little bit. Also, this has fixed quite a lot of the typos that were in the Vita version. It wasn't the greatest in the world of translations, but that's mostly been worked out for this. Also, the frame rate isn't so appalling. On the Vita, this game chugs like a frat boy on St. Patrick's Day. I'll show you the worst offender. It does still have trouble running in some bits on the PS4 version, because there's not all that much upgrading that can be done. But it's a massive improvement. And anyway, this is how you basically go about doing things, and it's nice to show it's still very much Sword Art Online. Kirito has to accept the quests in his log, etc, etc. Right, that's all the quests I've got, right. And then you can teleport to the floor on which these quests take place. But you can take a party of up to 2. Now there are other aspects to the game. For example, there's the Hollow area, which is the new bit that got opened up when the system got a bit corrupted after floor 75. And yeah, you can't go down anywhere. Floor 76 is the lowest floor at the moment because they've lost access. See what I mean? In places like this where it's trying to render lots of people, the frame rate does chug. But if you think that was bad, imagine this on the Vita. You have to basically wait for everyone to bugger off before you can actually move on the Vita, and it's a nightmare. Right. Now, I want to go and collect someone from my party, so we open the menu, and you've got your friends list. And obviously you've got all your favourite characters, Asuna, Silica, Elizabeth, etc, etc. But also, for some reason, you've got Leafa, who, if you're not familiar with the lore, doesn't actually appear in Sword Art Online. She's in the other game, Alfheim Online, but something went wrong with the Cardinal system and they all got teleported into SAO and they're all stuck here just like before. But I want to track down Asuna, because I take her everywhere at the end of the day. This is Kirito's story. I want him to be with his wife. Right, she's in Trader's Way. So let's get out of here and go to the shopping district. And every time you do go through a transition like that, it does save data. There she is. Hello. Hey, it's Asuna. Hello. Right, we're going to form a party. Yeah, confirm. Now, those little musical notes you've just seen coming over Asuna's head, I will explain. There is a sort of a romance subplot in this game. You have a certain friendship level with every character, and you can build it up and build it up and build it up, and eventually they become more useful to you. I think you have to be at like friendship level 7 to be able to give them new armour and stuff like that. And that's a perfect example of how I screw this up. In fact, I'm going to show you that before we go out onto the field, because it is quite an interesting way you do it. For example, you go over here to these benches. Does she want to talk on the bench? Ah, yes. These yellow things pretty much start what's known as a date event. And you'll end up pressing R1 more than you will the X button, purely because that's the way it works. And obviously, if you want to build up your relationship with the character the best place to do it is in the bedroom. Don't ask. And no, before you ask, you perverts, no, you can't have happy, sexy time with Asuna. I've tried. Right, now, getting into the meat of the game. Central Plaza, and I've cut out a lot of the other stuff that goes on in this game. There's like these conversation events that you get with like different characters where you get like the actual RPG elements of the game, as well as like helping the other players build up their skills, because when the game corrupted, their levels were kept, but all their skills and items were completely ruined. So we're not going to go to the hollow area, because I don't want to show you that, because that's actually quite an interesting little area, and I want you to experience that yourself. But I am going to use the teleport gate. And I want to go to floor 78, because that's where our next quests are. And exterior. You can't actually go into the towns on the other floors. It's only floor 76 that has a fully rendered town. But that's kind of okay, because that's where you've set up, basically you've set up home there. So let's go to the exterior of the town. And I get to show you the awesome, if not a little complicated, battle system. And by the way, if you think this game looks beautiful now, it is a massive step up from how it was. Right. So our first mission is to kill wyverns, which are these guys with the green exclamation mark over their head. And allow me to show you the very intricate combat system. Because this is based on an RPG, you've got all these like fancy ass sword skills and stuff. And Asuna will make requests. Basically, you can order your team around as much as they can order you around. And you may notice at the bottom, you've got the burst meter. Now, that's part of this game I've never quite sussed out yet. And I've played both the Vita version and this. But the long and short of it is, it's all down to timing. And I can't tell whether it's timing it based on how far along the burst gauge has gone, or how far the animation has gone. Example. But much like Sword Art Online itself, the game in the show, I kind of just get by kind of feeling what's right. I think I've pretty much got the timing down quite well. And yeah, you've got all these cool sword skills, and each one does a different thing. And basically, circle to perform an attack, you'll auto-attack anyway. But in using up those attacks uses up your burst meter. But it's modified by L1 and R1. L1 brings up a separate weapon palette to R1. And if I show you here, if I press L1, I can access my sword skills. and also I can give orders to my teammates. If I press R1, I get other skills like a healing circle, exact onslaught, which is the stun, my ability to parry, which is kind of important, and your burst attack. I can't remember what burst attack actually does. I've used it that infrequently. But anyway, let's kill these mushrooms. And I'm hoping to show off a few more sword skills, because you may notice I use Crimson Splash as my burst finisher. You can change that to any one of the sword skills in this game. And it is always important to pick these up as well. The ores and stuff, because that's how you upgrade your weapons. I think at the moment I'm using the Dark Repulsor Mark III and the Elucidator Mark III. Well, plus 3. But there are so many different weapons in this game, it is untrue. At the moment I am sticking firmly to lore and going with dual wielding Kirito, because that was his thing. Because he had the fastest reaction time, of course. But that being said, you can specialise in axes, maces, two-handed swords, all sorts of stuff, and all of them have different skills attached to them, so you can build your character however you want. But I was such a fan of the show, I am sticking to the lore rigidly and will not be moved. Oh, hello, poisonous mushroom. Yes, I am using a sword skill. Haven't you figured that out yet? There we go. That's one of the problems I have with the combat system in this. Your teammates will often tell you to do something that you're either already doing or you're stuck in another animation for another thing. And you get those little incidental quests. And the reason you've got to do all the quests on a floor is it leads... Certain quests just give you normal, like, everyday MMO quest rewards. Others are of vital importance because they give boss information. And you do get to explore the labyrinth and all this stuff. And you get to find the boss room. Because that's the whole point of clearing all the floors. Yes, I'm using a sword skill. Leave me alone. But you can't fight the boss until you have adequate information. There's always like a meeting before each one, and like sometimes I've encountered a boss where it's like weak to blunt attacks, and normally you would take someone like Lisbeth for that because she uses a mace. Not me. Nope. Sticking to lore rigidly because I am that kind of person. And you may notice at the bottom as well, you've got your SP and something called the risk gauge. The risk gauge is kind of important. The higher risk you are, the more damage you're going to take. And the more damage you're going to take, the more things are going to fuck you up. But that's when the switch function comes in. Because you can switch with your enemy, not with your enemy, with your ally at any time. Oh, I remember this guy. Jesus. Yeah, basically big evil dragon. Standard MMO fare, really. But what I remember most about is this long introduction. It's not going to be the boss, it's not in a boss room. And again, I'm not going to do the voices. I'm just going to let you read as you will. Basically, what this is saying is I need to find a specific weapon that can defeat that dragon. Example. Even the Black Swordsman isn't enough to take that thing down. Because it needs a very special weapon to cut its aura. Fine. Fortunately, I know where that is. Sort of. And I say sort of because it's in a dungeon. And isn't that just lovely? I'm over combat, but I think I've massively over-leveled myself for this area. When you find yourself in that situation, though, you can just go to the hollow area because all the enemies there are hilariously overpowered. Well, I say overpowered, it's a crapshoot in the hollow area. Like, occasionally you'll find like a floor boss, and it'll be super weak, and occasionally you'll find like a normal enemy like that guy who will kick your ass from sun up to sundown. But the basic rule of it is, the hollow area is an area only Kirito can access, and can only take one person at a time, much like these floors. But it's got all sorts of weird stuff. And in the PS4 version, this wasn't in the Vita version, they've added multiplayer. So in true MMO fashion, you and about, I think it's 4 other people can team up and take the hollow area on. You can't do the floors though, which is a bit annoying because like, you want to be able to clear the game. And he's down. Right, where is the guy? Where's the guy who gives me the thing? Here we are. Yes, here we are. There's a random NPC in this cave. Yeah, we all know. Yeah, basically what he said is... Hang on, let's see. Yeah, he's a smith and he can make us the weapon to cut the aura to get past the dragon. But we've got to find out... We've got to find out what we need. Here we are, sword cut for the larger dragons, blah 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 blah. Yeah, we need golem parts, basically. Fortunately, this area is teeming with them. I mean, say what you want about plot convenience in games, but I'm all for it. The only thing I don't like about this particular quest, and I'll admit I've only done this on the Vita version, I hope they've improved it for the PS4. The number of golems that spawn is never enough. First you have to track them down, obviously. Like this guy. Ridiculously easy. But, because you've already got a quest to get golem parts, you kinda have to keep killing these over and over again. Which I'll admit fits the theme, because this is based on an anime that's based in an MMO. And MMOs are grindy as all hell. Hello, Mr. Blue Golem. Let's use the wrong one. There we go. Nearly out of spikes, that'll do it. Yeah, I've got the Dragon Breaker Raw now. And yeah, that's another way you can increase your friendship level with the characters, by impressing them in battle. And when I say impressing them, I mean obeying them. Don't ask. But yeah, I've got to find the rest of these golems because I think I've still got that quest to do. Let's have a look. Quest tracker. Between the rock and the golem, yeah. Collect golem fragments. Here we go. 1 of 5 collected. This is where it gets grindy, people. But I do want to see if they've like upped the spawn rate, or at least the drop rate, because geez, it took forever on the Vita. And I don't mind comparing this to the Vita version, because it's essentially exactly the same game. I mean, granted, it looks a lot prettier and runs a hell of a lot better. And from a Western perspective has better controls. But, I mean, whatever you do, don't try playing both versions at the same time. Do not try doing one floor on the PS4 and then one floor on the Vita, purely because you will get confused by the controls. Either that or you'll get infuriated by the lag. One of the two will always occur. Right, I need another golem. No, you're not golems. Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, some of these sword skills look absolutely fantastic, don't they? I mean, the reason I put Crimson Splash on as my my burst end is purely because it's a high damage attack, but it takes a little while to wind up. And I don't really want to get stun locked like a bitch. Ah, we have a respawn. Here we go. Here we go. It's so cool when you're both using the sword skill at the same time. Because not only do you get that little, like, side, like, wipe effect. Oh, I've got 2! Nope, the grind is still plentiful. And I think on that note of massive grind, we can confirm that while it is a massive improvement from the original version, and if you've got a PS4 and enjoy Sword Art Online, this game is very much made for you. There's still room for improvement. For example, you'd have thought they'd have respawned by now, but no! Have these guys respawned down here? No. Yeah, they need to fix the spawn rates a bit better, I think. But thank you all for watching, and like I said, I'm normally very anti-RPGs, but this is so fun to play, and the combat system shows off enough of what you need to know, and I think I've already mentioned most of the key elements of the game. So until then, well, let's do one more golem, just because I want to show off the sword skills some more, because they are so beautiful. That's the way out, isn't it? Certainly looks like it. Yeah, spawn rate, definitely a problem. Come on, I just want to show them off one more time. This is the problem with this game, I can't put it down. You start and you're just there going, just 4 more hours, just 4 more hours. No, seriously, I've got to end this video. I've got to end the video. Right. So thank you all for watching Salis' Week of Anime. And until tomorrow, I've been Salis. No, you perverts, you can't have sex with Asuna, and I will see you next time.